small boy to pump the organ manually. After a highly successful recital, the boy who had been pumping said to the organist, "We had a great recital tonight, didn't we?" Of which the organist replied, "I had a great recital. Not we, but I. I had a great recital tonight." Well, the following night, with the same boy still helping pump the organ manually, the organ ceased to function halfway through the repeat recital. Then the small face appeared from behind the screen where the pump was. With a grin, the boy announced, "We aren't having such a great recital tonight." If we're going to do this, we need to do this together. If it's going to happen, if it's going to work, it needs you and I, the team I have, your team, if we do this together. I found that's the best way. Actually, there's no other way. So we'll do our very best. You know your child best. I would never even presume. I got two, and I know the ins and outs of my son and daughter better than anyone else. So we need to listen to you about your child. And we need to walk this journey together, working together. I call it partnering together for the betterment of your child. So your child can reach the potential, their full potential that is out there for them. When I met with the state board, there were three things I pushed across when speaking to them that I feel like are the core elements of what's really going to make us successful. And you just heard one of them, partnering with the parents, doing this together. The other is academic excellence, and I think we have it. I'm sure we have it. And people go, "Well, how do you know you have it?" Well, I've seen it happen. I've seen it work, and it's about classical education. And so I don't know how many of you are familiar with it, and I have a great article on our home website page, lemanacademy.com. Find it. It's by Susan Wise Bauer. It's What is Classical Education? And if not, just Google it. Find it. It's a great, I read all this stuff all the time, but that one hits it. And you can have that read in 5-7 minutes and go, "Okay, I get this." But who here might know a little bit about classical education? The beauty of it, it has two pieces I love. One, the trivia, which is based on a child's natural learning, natural development. You have the grammar stage, logic stage, and rhetoric. And what that does, and for all of you that have the younger kids, in the younger grades, kids come in eager to learn. They want to learn. They can't wait to learn. And this plays on that. And see, what we're going to do is work with that. We're not going to go against it. We're going to work with that. So the kids are going to do a lot of observing, memorizing, doing chants and jingles, picking up basic math facts. They can take it. They soak it in. They can learn a lot. And that's what the plan is for the grammar stage. They build out this huge foundation of learning. And then a time comes, and I've got a little guy that's in 5th grade that's starting to do it right now. "Dad, what does this mean? What is this?" Starting to ask the good questions. Why? They start analyzing things, want to know why this goes with that. And that's the whole logic stage. That's natural. And so we build off that. What do? Well, we offer logic. Logic's going to feed into all the other subject areas. They're going to start logically applying that to history and science. And then as they move along and get to high school, it's about the rhetoric stage, where they take what they've learned, all this great knowledge, and now they're starting to put it together, and now you're required to speak. It's the art of communication. It's the art of expression. So we sort of build this process in our schools. Trivia means 3 paths. It's referred to as the 3 paths of learning, 3 stages of learning. And so you have that, and I'm going to shift over here. We call this a rigorous education. Why is it rigorous? Well, a lot of what classical is based on is language learning. What does that mean? Well, you learn through the written word and the spoken word. And see what's happening, and I'm not here to go out and say I know everything that's happening in all the other schools. But see, with the classical model, your kids are going to be reading a lot. And see, the brain has to work a lot harder to take words off a page and go, what is this saying? What does it mean? What's the concept? And bring it out here. As opposed to seeing images, pictures, the visual that they see a lot of and they go, okay. And if your kids are like mine, I think my kids are in front of that little screen, mid-screen, big screen way too much. There's nothing happening here. It's very passive. But if I got to go to the Word and start thinking, well, that's a good thing. They're going to work a lot harder. And that's the rigor, a lot of the rigor of what we offer. So we have that. And then the other is, and I said we have 3 core values: partnering with the home, academic excellence, and I think this is big. Respecting the learner, respecting the child. That child already comes in and already knows a lot. And what I see a lot of times is a teacher is up here and it's 3rd grade and I'm going to teach you. I always like to go, because my son coming up loves all kinds of creatures. Sea creatures, bugs, although now he's getting a little bit leery of some as he's finding out in this desert terrain. But you have a teacher that comes in and goes, I got all this information I want to teach you about sea creatures, say. So up here to present all this information, where those boys are back there going, I already know a lot. Why don't you ask me? Hello, I'm ready. But the more I'm doing my thing, like right now I'm doing too much, you start tuning, kids will start tuning out that teacher. Instead, I start with, you in the back row. Tell me something that you already know. And so they start bringing it out, and they bring it out, and they bring it out, and they'll start covering all the areas you want covered. And if they miss something, you, the master teacher, sort of fill in the gaps of what they're missing. But it starts with the child. They're engaged in the learning, and that's where you want to begin. So, respecting the learner, our teachers will be at the door when the kids come in. I believe in this, shaking their hands as they enter the classroom, welcome, showing them each and every day, hey, I'm glad you're here. I value you. Let's have a great day together. That speaks to school culture. And that's what we want, a positive school culture, build on relationships. So there's that piece too. I could go on and on. No. I do want to offer, and I'm going to come back, but you have handouts, and I don't want to ignore those. I'm going to go through some of that with the handouts. LemanAcademy.com. Now you have a little thing there that says how to enroll. Bypass all that. I had that 3 weeks ago, and that's great. It's there. It will guide you. But if you just jump on our website and just go there, it'll show you enroll, and you just get right in if you haven't done it already. Now you're going to see there's a segment where you got to electronically send forms in, and then there's another area we're asking that you mail the forms in. And you should be able to find the address, 6161 East Grant Road. So you do all that, and you get your child enrolled. A lot of you are asking, well, what about this? What about authorization for release of record? That's about the last piece we're looking for. I'm not looking for, some of you are going to ask, am I withdrawing my child? Don't be withdrawing your child. We don't want to see that. You got this year to complete. But that piece is at the end. The other pieces, get them in as you go. We already have it marked when you started the process, and that's a good thing. We may hit capacity. And so we're tracking. A lot of you, most kindergarten folks, listen, we're prepared to have 4 sections of kindergarten. Okay? Now people go, well, what's the teacher-student ratio? Okay? We will not top 25. They will have a teacher's aide. But let's say we're doing 80 for kindergarten. That's 4 sections of 20. We just got to look at that. If we shoot and get right up there to 100, say, then we're prepared to go 25 times 4. And then we'll also bring a teacher's aide with that. Okay? So know that's how it's going to work. But as much as we have a capacity, we're saying no more than 26 in 1st through 6th. But if, let's say we have 45, well, we're going to break that out. 22, 23, something like that. We don't know. We have to show a capacity, and we will cut off there. Know that kindergarten, 1st, 2nd are going to have some other people in there with the teachers that are already teaching. So I hope I'm answering some questions there. I won't take too much more. I'm gonna come back behind Dr. Leman, and I wanna do a little Q&A with you, make sure your questions are answered before you leave. We are very excited to have you. We're thrilled to be out in this area. I think this is a great spot. Just looking at all things, having this here. Will we utilize this library? You betcha. The fields, the park, yes. We get to use some of that through the day. We'll have a great campus. It'll be exciting. So, thank you.
You're up, sir.
Okay.